Alright, I told you I'd show you how to do just a regular infinity scarf, and I went ahead and cut this. This has extra without the pattern on it at the edge, so I'm not counting that. So what I've done is, excuse the board, I was working with leather with this, but I measured 9 inches, and then 9 inches, and then an inch. So 9 nines 18, and so one more is 19. So I'm doing it 19 inches, which is right there where I wanted it to be. And what I'm going to do is you got your unfinished side and you got your finished side. So I'm going to take my finished side, fold it to my finished side, so it's like that. And what I want is, if you cut your material without this excess on the side, you'll have it where it's 19 inches, and then just fold it in half, finished side to finished side, and then pin it up. And I'll pin this one up, and then I'll come back and show you how to sew it up. Be back in just a few minutes. Alright, once you get your thing all pinned up here. Oh, and the total length, I don't think I told you. I mean, ours varies because my wife likes one that are you can double, and they're real tight up on the neck, and then sometimes she wants them real loose. The majority of the ones we do are about 2 yards long. So if you get 2 yards of material, it depends on the width of your material, but you can get 2 to 3 scarves out of each 2 yards. So I found this one on when we went in. I found this one on clearance. So I got this for about $1.50 a yard, which is unheard of these days. But just put her in, and remember, all this is excess over here. I'm cutting it off. But you can put it in where you pinned it there, run it a little bit, back stitch, and then run the whole length. And make sure you take out your needles. And when I run it all the way down to the end, I'll come back and show you how to turn it inside out. Okay guys, here at the end, what you'll do is come up to the end, take your needle out, run all the way to the end, right at the last stitch, backtrack it, and then take her on out. Okay, now what you're going to do is make sure you want this seam to stay where the seam is. So you're going to put your hand inside and keep that seam on top the whole way. Run your hand all the way through. Grab the other end, and I always just grab that seam right there and then pull it through. Now don't pull it all the way through. You're just wanting half of it inside out, and bring it all the way down to the end. And when you get to the end, you stop. Don't pull it, in other words, don't pull it inside out, or inside out right now. You just want half of it brought to here. And what you're going to do is put this seam with this seam right here, and then we're going to sew this edge, the 2 pipes together, I guess you'd say it. So when I get to that point, I'll show you. Okay. Remember, take that seam after you turn it in for in there. Take that seam and put it together. And then once you have that seam together, we're going to put it in here and sew it up. And then we're going to leave about 3 to 4 inches at the end. So go ahead and sew those 2 tubes together and start out, backtrack, and I backtrack twice at each side of this because you might be putting a little tension on it when you're turning the whole thing inside out. But put those edges together. And I usually try to start right there around the seam, that way it's easy to tell where you started, and then you can know pretty easy where to stop. See, it's like right here, so I'm going to sew right about to here. Okay. This is pretty stretchy material, so I'm not going to leave that much of a hole. So we left a little hole here, not much. Now you go inside and pull all that material out. So you're turning this all inside out now. Sometimes it's a little tough, you know, depending on your hole that you left. The bigger the hole you leave, the easier it is to get through. But it's also more work at the end here, because that hole that you leave, you're going to have to hand sew it closed. So me personally, I try to leave it as little as possible, and because I do not like hand sewing. Some of this material gets kind of weird when you're pulling it inside out. There we go. Okay, so now that hole, you can flip these inside and then hand sew that shut like that, and then you're done with it. And there's your infinity scarf. So, well, if you like this video, or if you have a suggestion for other type, just let me know. If I don't know how to do it, I know somebody that knows how to do it, and I'll see if I'll get them to show us if I don't know how to do it. But if you liked it, like the video, and subscribe if you like. I'm going to have more stuff on here soon, and I guess we'll talk to you next time.